Welcome everyone to another segment of Speak Your Piece, hosted by Above and Beyond. My name is Memory Pines. I have two distinguished guests here, two gentlemen that's going to bring their perspectives about different topics, and we're going to have a good time and talk about the issues of today. We have no set topic or prefabricated agendas. We are here to have our opinions and talk about the issues of today. So we're going to start to the right of me. Your name, sir?
My name is Andre Smith.
And can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Mr. Smith?
My name is Andre Smith. I'm the CEO for anti-violence organization called Chicago Against Violence. I'm also a minister and just a servant of the community. I'm also a candidate for state representative in the 5th District.
Thank you very much for that. And can you introduce yourself, sir?
I'm Jasper Lyons. I'm an intern student at Malcolm X College. I intern at Above and Beyond to be a CRSS support specialist, formerly incarcerated.
Okay. I think I want to start off with Mr. Jasper. He's a client and like he said, an intern at Above and Beyond. I want to also first start with saying Above and Beyond is a substance recovery center located at 2942 West Lake Street. It's an outpatient and it's free to anybody who's seeking help, and that's for clients and family members. It has a multitude of services that is offered there, and if you have any kind of issues with anything, I think that should be your first stop. And you will find something to fit. If not, they will point you in the direction that you should be in. But Mr. Jasper, can you tell us how much time did you serve?
I did a total of 24 years. I did 22 years and 168 days straight.
I won't ask you what for, but you, I want to ask you, since you've been released, services, re-entering into society, how has that been for you?
Well, at first it wasn't that much of a deal that I thought in my mind. I just didn't want to accept some of the things that had kind of took over me, which is being institutionalized, not seeking therapy or counseling when I first came home, like was recommended to me. But job-wise and the opportunities was there for me. It was just, I didn't really want to apply myself, so I played catch-up in ways that I said I wasn't.
And how about the resources now? Are the resources available to you?
Yes, the resources are available. I get all the resources that I look for from Above and Beyond. There's plenty other places that you can go to and seek resources as far as like ID, Social Security cards, birth certificates, employment, housing, stuff like that for guys that's coming out. So the main thing that I found that was a little bit difficult at first for me was going to apply for applications online because of the computer skills that I didn't have. They don't really teach you as much as that inside, so when you get ready to come out, so it was kind of like I was just pushed out to the world and, said go from there. So the only thing I thought that I needed to survive was having the finances, the money to, survive and get things done.
And Mr. Smith, your name rings in the community, and I thought that you would be a great choice for this type of platform. But I also want to say before we really get started, because I believe that it's going to get hot around here, all these opinions that you hear, are not those of Above and Beyond or myself. These are the opinions of the people here on this panel and that one. So that is what we're going to do. But Mr. Smith, like I said, I hear your name out, and I would like to know, what type of platform are you trying to run on far as state representative, and we're going to talk about your organization and things, because I would like to link with you, because at Above and Beyond we do that, make linkage agreements with people for those services and our services.
Well, one thing that I really dislike is when a person meet a person that's running for political office, they would ask them, well, what do you stand for, or what's your platform? And what's your platform or what you stand for is something that you've been living or been doing, not what someone wrote for you and told you to say. So most politicians, when you ask them that, they'll say economic development, public safety, things in that nature, because that's the common thing.
Well, how would you help the people? Your people, the people that's needing of services.
Well, one, I would help them with exactly what I've been doing, making myself available, to service the needs that's in our community. Now, as state rep, I wouldn't be just an individual anymore. I'd be making, state laws, not just for the 5th district, but for the whole state of Illinois. Which is important, because when you look at brother that has been, if I may use the word, incarcerated, institutionalized, or whatever you want, or programmed, however you want to survive, however you want to package it, when he came out, he did not have the equipment or the tools that was necessary to be rehabilitated or rehabilitated. But when you look in the other point of the migrants that cross the border illegal, they come over here and they spent $1 billion of taxpayer dollars, and they have everything that they need: phones, link cards, bus passes. But this brother have paid his debt to society, come out with absolutely nothing if it wasn't for your program.
Back to you, Mr. Jasper. What type of benefits do you need? Like you said, the computer training, and you're getting a lot of resources from Above and Beyond. But what else would you need to make your plight and your change possible?
Well, I can speak for me and several of the other brothers that's coming home or just recently came home. The main thing that we probably need more so than a job is housing. It seems that, they make it extremely impossible for us to get housing. We're constantly redoing our census, and what I mean by that is, after I served my 22 years, that's my debt to society, as Brother Smith said. So it's one of them things as if where once I pay my debt and I come home, and if I show you that I'm working, you should put me on a more reliable and sufficient housing list, so I'm able to, get settled and then go about my everyday life. It was too many different instances where I had to worry about, staying over here at a relative's house or staying over there, and then have to worry about getting a job, and then have to worry about food, and then housing. The cost of living is up.
Right, and I know that's one of the major resources that Above and Beyond does offer. They have a housing and employment department, and it's always busy trying to get those resources to people and get because that's a big factor. You can't stay clean, you can't recover, you can't move on with your life if your stability, your foundation, food, housing, and shelter is not met. So how would you address that for them?
Well, as
state rep,
as a state rep, state official, I think that it's very difficult for you to do something that you don't do. So most people run for office. They have not been in the community. They don't know the process in the community. They don't know what brother has went through. I grew up in the community. I grew up in Robert Taylor Projects. I did some of the things that brother probably have done, and I myself had to be deprogrammed, because when I lived in Robert Taylor Projects after 15 years, I took the same mentality, even though I wasn't in the projects, to where I was, and it's a survival. So you learn how to survive and adjust. You take the same mentality, like brother said when he came out. Hey, he have to feel safe, and he don't feel safe. He's gonna wake up and he's gonna have that trauma because he spent every night. He's programmed to survive. We have to take people like that. That's a human being, give them programs and fund those programs, but also understand those programs and make sure those programs work.
Yeah, also mental illness, mental issues, just the resources. I went to a forum, I guess in December, and one of the speakers got up, and it was a politician, and they talked about the quadrillions of money, that was donated and funded toward mental substance abuse and mental illness, but we don't see them at the level where the people are. So where does that money funnel to? Where does it go? How can it, maybe let me rephrase this, how can we help people?
Well, one, we got to have real people in office. And when I say real people, I'm talking about people that actually done work, without the pay. Because I'm going to be honest with you, like I tell people, hustling don't just start or stop in the ghetto. Hustling is in programs. There's a lot of people that have programs and we don't see the work, But, thank God we have your program that we have a living testimony of brother that's, being helped. But there's a lot of programs that you have people that create an organization or run for public office just for a check.
Jasper, can you tell me what's your route? What does success look for you? How does it look?
Trying to have a peace of mind, a job, being able to provide for myself and my family. Going back to something that he said about, having the right people in the right place to do the right job. We have housing, for instance, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, Section A, CHA. You can ride around in some of the neighborhoods that they have buildings and some of the apartments been vacant for over a year, and you have a list of over 1,000 people on it. And the only time they're active is when they're kicking somebody out for something that they did wrong. Mm-hmm. You have a law that's still in play, if I'm not mistaken, from Clinton, about people that's coming home from prison can't stay with their loved ones if they own Section A or CHA. Mm-hmm. So that right there is I guess basically
that's dividing the family.
It's right. It's dividing the family, and then go back to the way it used to be back in the day. The more and more we overcome the obstacles that's put before us, they go and reinvent the wheel to make things next to impossible for us to do. So if you got an apartment that's abandoned and it's been abandoned for years, and here it is, I'm on the house, the waiting list, and you telling me my name haven't moved in 6 months, something's wrong somewhere. But then, as you say, as the migrants enter, they get money, they get linked, they get phones, they're getting jobs, and they're getting housing. So it's something wrong with that picture. The structure from the bottom to the top is not right. So something has to be done there first. And then we can start to work on our communities and ourselves, because if you sitting back asking me, do I or my people believe in the system, I think every one of us will tell you no. So in a sense, it's like we fighting an uphill battle. So some people are just, tired of just basically going up against the same thing and there's no change.
Right. The migrant situation, I know you spoke of it earlier. I believe people are humane to what's going on with the migrants. Nobody wants to see anybody displaced, but we have seen people get turned around at the border as well, at all borders, like the Haitians when they got turned around. They won't let different people in, so we got this big fluctuation of people coming in, and they get all this humanitarian aid to them. what would be how would you help the homeless and the migrants? Because that's going to be a double issue.
How would I help the homeless and the migrants?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this may sound, cruel, but first I would send the migrants back and let them enter the proper way, just like other people have entered the proper way, and they are waiting 4 years, 3 years for their citizenship. Nobody can cut the line. If you're going to take and spend $1 billion for people that broke the law, this brother broke the law. He paid his debt to society. You can't make illegal legal. So if they there's no reward for breaking the law, crossing the border, and you don't give people that broke the law a reward of $1 billion and stuff that our homeless need, our veterans need. People are under VILOCs right now today that has not got the resources that the migrants got. And these migrants are not just people that's seeking asylum. These are drug cartels. These are people that is part of and that's committing crime. They're fighting police officers, shooting people, breaking in cars, robbing people. So how is it possible that you can look the other way on seniors that got to decide whether they're going to pay their rent or get their prescription? How you going to look the other way when veterans that went and served this country and now they're homeless? They had a slip and fall, what I call a slip and fall injury, or made a bad decision. Now they're under a VILOC or under a bridge or something, and there's no resources for them. You look at 50 schools closed because we were told that there was a lack of funding and kids didn't have books, computers, or anything. They had to share the paper. Now you find $1 billion for illegal people and you try to cover it up and say we found more money. That don't make any sense.
Well, once again, I'm going to say that the views that we have here today is those of the people that's speaking, okay? And I want to say, too, that it's another program, Above and Beyond, they boots on the ground type of organization. And they get the programming that helps people to push them just to that next step. So they have an early intervention program. Are you familiar with it?
Yes.
And I think it's one of the first of its kind. And I believe that I would say, Jasper, how would you introduce that program to younger brothers or brothers that haven't served 20 years? Maybe they're just doing a year.
Okay.
And they just entered the system. How would you help them to with that early intervention piece?
That's a great question. Above and Beyond has a program called EI, which is early intervention. And I actually was the first client.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
I passed through, got what I was supposed to get, and how it helped me was I felt more things inside of that class than I did when I first came home. I felt somebody I could talk to, someone that I was able to see went through the same upbringing that I had, somebody that also was formerly incarcerated, the resources inside of the building. It was like an Army Swiss knife, if you will, Once I got the treatment downstairs, I was able to go upstairs and do employment and housing. And then, guys, after they complete the EI, they're referred to other programs, outside of Above and Beyond to help them further, success. Some of the guys that come through there are not even mandated, through a probation officer or a parole officer. It's just guys that's tired of, going through life, in and out of.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired?
Exactly,
Yeah,
so
I heard that one before.
It's a lot of help once you go through that. And like I said, it's just all about if you want to apply yourself.
All right. We got about 5 minutes left. I want to give you a minute to let us know anything else that you think that we should know about Andre Smith and what he stands for.
Well, real quick, I just want to clear the record because a couple of days ago, my opponent, Kimberly Neely Dubiclay, sent out mailers saying that I was mega and saying that I was, she said that I was mega, and then I didn't believe in the women right reproductive system or the women right to choose. And it broke my heart because I have a mother, I have sisters, you know, I have daughter, and I always fought for women right to choose. I'm a strong advocate and believe in the women right to choose, you know. And when she said that, I said, out of 30 years of me fighting for our community for free, never took a grant, never took a dollar. That's the only thing that she can create and put out on me. It's the same old song over and over. When they're afraid...
Wait, Andre, I need you also to tell us about your organization right quick.
My organization is Chicago Against Violence. I self-funded, which I don't have money like that, but I self-funded, and me and a partner of mine and a couple of guys, we get out and we go out and mentor people and people that got shot or something like that. We go and try to let the mother know that we with them. We don't tell the mother that things are going to be all right, because things ain't never going to be all right when you lose a child. But going back to this, the Democratic Party, when they fear a free black man, and you don't go along to get along, and you're not just going to be there just to be a yes person, they label you. They label you mega, they label you out of control, things of that nature. And I'm saying that, look, it's time to tip the boat over and throw all the people out and put new people in, because when you look outside, ain't nothing changing. It's the same, or it's getting worse.
All right, let's go to you. Jasper, can you tell me something about you that you would like people to know?
Well, I'm an advocate for redemption. You know, I believe every human being that had a setback, you know, whether it was being incarcerated, does have a right to, you know, be able to have, you know, the same opportunities as someone, you know, else that hasn't been through that, you know. So myself, I would just say that I'm more so about trying to live a healthy and better lifestyle.
Well, anyway, my name is Memory again, and I hope y'all enjoyed this segment of Speak Your Piece. We are glad that you all tuned in to watch us this evening, and I would like to also thank my dynamic guests. You know, they have brought it, and we look forward to seeing other people and other topics on this program and getting more viewers in here, and we're going to keep it moving and just talk about the issues that need to be talked about and getting the help to people that we want to. And remember, Above and Beyond, 2942 West Lake Street. You can make your help start there today. Have a good one. Remember, the life that you save just might be your own. Have a good night, everyone.